A large portion of the entertainment industry has been accused of being steeped into devil practice.
Yeah, no, we wasn't like no damn devil worshippers. We definitely had a dark side and was into a lot of interesting, mysterious, mystique things.
For a long time, I used to dismiss it, you know. I remember when I was still in high school, I was very much into hip hop and so forth. And whenever I would listen to the metaphors and whatnot, when a person speaks about them and some type of affiliation with the devil, I'd kind of toss it aside a little bit.
It was at that point that I fell in love with Arizona. I said, you know what, this has to be God's country. You know, because I'd never seen anything as beautiful as that sunrise. Then I met the devil in God's country. You know, and
I wouldn't really think too much about it. I would only take it when people said the positive, like when the rappers themselves say something positive.
I prayed to God every night. I still do that. I just wanted, I wanted God to know that even though I was going through the worst of times, I still recognized it as being something greater than myself.
Then a DVD came out. I think the DVD was called They Sold Their Souls, and it included a portion pertaining rap music. And I was like, okay, this is a bit wild. Then I saw The Truth Behind Hip Hop. It was very popular back in the 2000s and so forth. And so when I saw The Truth Behind Hip Hop and They Sold Their Souls, I was like, okay, something's off here. This music sounds weird. I started to distance myself from listening to a lot of it and so forth. The biggest take for me that really made me say, this is it. This music is of the devil, was when I saw the character plays figures as you are seeing in the title, like Tupac. Very clear here, I'm not against the music or anything like that. I just think there's a lot of elements in hip hop that are very, very misguided. This particular video, I want to make it to show where did I see it. The figure of Tupac, the first thing that comes up when you speak about Tupac, it's thug life. That's the first thing. He had a big tattoo on his stomach. You know, he lived a life of don't care. You know, he's there just, you know. For me to find out, no, Tupac was not even that person. He was a character. He was playing a role. Like the whole play. Like, guys, everything was a play for him.
I have only ambition and I want mine, and I will do anything to protect and feed my family.
Every single little thing. The gangster persona was a play.
Before Machiavelli, there was MC New York. Before Thug Life, there was Brenda's Got a Baby. And before the bandana became a uniform, there was a backup dancer wearing outfits social media would scream pause at today.
Because there might be someone who's actually even convinced of some of these people's lifestyles. And these lifestyles have influenced people into all kinds of demonic things. These people are responsible for a lot of damage into society. Tupac was a ballerina. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Tupac was a ballerina. He was nowhere near gangster lifestyle.
Tupac's career started in the middle of a transition. Hip-hop was moving from revolutionary, anti-white, anti-police rhetoric towards the West Coast gangster persona, and Tupac would eventually embody both sides of that shift.
Uncle Sam never did a damn thing for me. Said lie about the fact in my history.
Tupacalypse Now, his first album, had little of the gangster persona. It was built more around Tupac's revolutionary anti-police aura and the political background he came from.
One day I'm gonna bust, blow up on this society. Why did you lie to me? I couldn't find a trace of equality.
By Strictly For My Niggas, the transformation was underway. Rap was becoming more commercial, more sexual, and more fascinated with blunts, women, drive-bys, and kilos. Tupac did not create that transition.
I had a friend named John Cole who was blonde and had hair down to his shoulders and had blue eyes, and he had money and I didn't, and he put me through high school. That's how I got through the School of Performing Arts.
But the theater actor from the East would play a major role in making the gangster persona one of the most marketable characters in hip-hop history.
Look at people that grew up into gang territories, right? Into gang-infested territories. We know that over a year or 2-year period, a person can completely flip and change, right? The story of K.I. This girl, she was a high school girl, and because people kept dying next to her, like her friends and so forth, the more people died, the more cold-hearted this girl grew, and she just became like an outright demonic individual, just out there speaking about murder, to being referenced in videos about shooting people. So her story shows, yes, it is possible that a person can grow cold-hearted. She ended up actually dying because of this violence that she got steeped into and she got involved in. Now, for Tupac, that's not the case.
Born in New York City in 1971, Tupac Shakur had spent most of his childhood moving between cities with his family. His mother, Afeni Shakur, had been a political activist and member of the Black Panther Party.
So you were right in the middle of the storm.
I'm still in the storm. I'm still in the storm. As a matter of fact, my mother was in a book. There's a book about my mother called Look For Me in the Whirlwind. I like to think that's my motto.
Growing up, Tupac developed an interest in acting, poetry, and music.
Was this always kind of an ambition of yours? Did you have the show business bug as a youngster?
I mean, I caught it then, but at the time, it just seemed like the fun thing to do, because I was 13, but I caught the bug when I got on stage and all those people was clapping, so that's when I got it. But really, I just enjoy expressing myself.
His early records gained attention for addressing issues such as poverty, racism, and police brutality. As his music career grew, so did his profile. By the mid-1990s, Tupac had become one of the most successful and controversial figures in hip-hop. However, legal troubles continued to follow him.
The direct gets the minutes to decide. Let me tell the whole world. All right, tell them why you did what you had to do. These chump, punk, slump, you know what I'm saying?
Look, you'll have a chance to come here and rebuttal.
No, they won't. They better come now. Check this out. They fired me, but did it in a roundabout punk snitch way. So I caught them on the streets and beat they behind. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
like, I was a menace to the East brothers. And it ain't over. I still got more than chumps because I read what you said about me. Jump to the TV.
Because you can actually follow footage and videos that actually show Tupac made up the image of gangster life. And there's an entire lane you can go which actually show you when did the changes come up.
Can you tell me how you're doing today?
Well, I just had to listen to the prosecution's closing argument, and it was just so far from the truth that it really just has me drained at the end of the day. But I'm leaving it in the hands of the jury. I'm learning a lot about people's innermost fears in this trial, because it's not even about my trial no more. It's just about loud rap music, tattoo having thugs. It's not even about me no more. It's about, you know, some nightmare that these people having.
She's talking about thug life and all that, trying to...
He's definitely guilty. Anybody with thug life tattooed on their stomach is guilty. What type of reasoning is that? You know what I'm saying? We got different backgrounds. We come from two different places. Just because I look different, and every time they take a quote out of this courtroom, they take a quote from out of her mouth, which is, you know, the stuff to put me in jail. It's nothing that's been true. I just want print the facts so everybody can sort it out. My life is ruined because nobody has a chance to get the facts. Yeah, it is. Why would I own a gun? I've registered guns. You know what I'm saying? I'm a legal owner of guns.
In California.
California. So I came to New York and wanted to be an illegal gun runner now. You know, that's what they want you to believe. I want to start erasing. What? Come on, man. This is all about my image. Has nothing to do with me. This is all about my image. It's like MTV, all the papers, they building me up. Now they destroying me on the same image that they perpetuated.
And it is at a period when he actually acted a certain scene in a film, when he actually turns to the gangster persona.
What can we expect from Tupac in '92?
Static. It's gonna be static for sure. Because what the rap audience ain't ready for is a real person. You know what I want to say, a real N-I-G-G-A. I'm coming out, I'm 100% real, I ain't compromising Nathan. Anybody that talk about me got problems, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be straight up, like if I was a street person. That's how I'm coming at the whole world, and I'm being real about it, and I'm gonna grow with my music. The music I made now, my next album's gonna be better and more slamming. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, I'm gonna be even that much more potent next year, and I don't want no garbage. Anybody talk about me, anybody diss Digital Underground, they got problems, because we large and we all over the country. Anybody diss us, they're gonna get stomped.
And he speaks about himself actually playing the life of a villain. And he said it himself.
Pac get on stage You know, he's performing, doing his thing.
In Milwaukee, he instructed a crowd to stop killing babies.
You know, he was addressing the crowd, you know, and addressing a couple of dudes in the crowd.
He was preaching responsibility while making music that mostly summoned spirits from the opposite side.
You niggas ain't shit. We the real niggas. Y'all niggas.
To solve this, he would turn thug life into an acronym to attempt to make it sound revolutionary.
Thug life, I mean that, because these white folks see us as thugs. I don't care what y'all think. You are African American. If you whatever think you are, we thugs for these motherfuckers.
Tupac's Contradictions were highly accepted by his fan base.
How you gonna be a man and we starving? Go ahead, no.
At this point, his career mimicked the entire phase hip-hop was experiencing, uplifting, anti-police brutality with a focus on the real problem, the system. Now, guns, blunts, and hoes for days.
I'm in a thug like baby, I'm hopeless, choking on window, trying to keep my focus.
The theater kid started to disappear, and the Juice character became a symbiote.
That was him, dancer, you know.
With Digital Underground.
With Digital Underground. It wasn't that thug persona.
I tell you what about NAFTA, all it means to me is that I can shoot cops in 3 different countries. That's all that means.
The show, in living color, would eventually parody him that way.
She's got 6 condos in Long Beach. Oh, you're flying!
But Tupac remained just as serious about acting as he was about music.
But now you think about everybody who speaks about Tupac. It's a dichotomy. There's 2 guys going.
That gangster rap was intentionally encouraged, and then they found some people that were just straight up actors to play this role of a gangster. And one of those people is obviously Tupac. Tupac was an actor, and I'm pretty sure he was not a heterosexual actor either on the basis of this clip.
I just want to talk about the path that you just went. And that's how I feel. Like.
But the mannerisms, man, the mannerisms.
The interview. That's who he was. Somewhat effeminate type of dude, right?
Then people point to the Marin City and Digital Underground photographs.
Pause.
And I must say, you can definitely sense some zest.
I said pause.
Digital Underground gave Tupac his start as a backup dancer, and some of the outfits were closer to a Chippendales booking than the thug life he switched to just a few years later. Tupac left prison and became the worst version of what he had started his career speaking against. Someone dividing the community and pouring gasoline into the tension that was already burning.
I seen Biggie throwing up this. Biggie don't know nothing about no gang signs. Why that nigga keep throwing up gang signs? Be careful, homie. All you fake friend ass niggas, you got to be careful because it's very dangerous out here.
To follow the life of Floyd Mayweather, and when he decided to take on the caricature of Money Floyd Mayweather, always too cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. He wasn't like that before. He wasn't like that. He was known as Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather because the way he plays the defense, they couldn't hit him. But he became the villain. He made himself the villain. Tupac, he played a role in a film. And then after he took on that role, he then followed the lifeline of that.
The interview. That's who he was.
Yeah.
He was this innocent, almost, dare I say, somewhat effeminate type of dude, right? Like when you really look at that interview, he was a very soft person. That's who he was. 2 years later, he plays Bishop. And that character that he created with Bishop influenced millions of people. And he stayed in that character because I literally would see him flip-flop from one character to the other because we would hang out, we'd play pool. And famously, people would say, your friend looks like Tupac. And they didn't think that could be him because he was more like that 17-year-old guy. Like once he did that Bishop role, that became a much more interesting character for him to play. Even gangsters, look up to you and give you that's a fantasy for a young kid like that who was saying, oh, these guys call women the B word. The B word. He was saying this in the interviews. 2 years later, becomes Bishop, right? So, I just think this is a fascinating study of human behavior that people could just look at that and go, wait a minute, the Tupac that you've seen, his biography is a guy who grew up tough his whole life. That's not what he was.
If you listen to the early music of Tupac, it was about social change, which is what you will hear people always pin him as. Yeah, he was about social change. No, he was not. The early music was that. But then the further down he went, once he picked that gangster life, where he was talking about shooting and doing whatnot, Oh, to talk about changes. Changes is one part of his songs. This man was about, oh, shoot people, what. The day he got shot was actually him starting a fight. He got shot after starting a fight because he took on the gangster personality, and that personality consumed him. So personally, I couldn't make a case for it anymore. This guy was playing a role. His early music was about changing this and changing that. It was about social change, and he even used to criticize. In his early music, he used to criticize gangster music. He used to criticize it, and then he himself went on to doing that because he chose a specific point after he acted a role in a film. Now, this is why keeping it real, this is where you hear this term, keeping it real, because now people nowadays, they wanted to now prove that they were actually doing that. That's where now they started rapping about the things that they were doing, drill music and all these things, because they were really doing these things, and now we're singing about it. This is where that term kind of like tries to take it from, is that there are people who were not that, but they were singing about it. So now people are just outright now doing things just so that they can sing about it. Like, this is devilish music. This music is devilish. We're not even talking about the immorality that they speak about and they talk about in the songs or anything. I'm just talking about outright, what kind of a life would I want to live? For me, that is what broke it. You know, already I had seen Truth Behind Hip Hop. I had seen they sold their souls for rock and roll, the DVD and whatnot. I don't follow that ministry specifically, but I did watch that DVD, and once I saw that, the lyrics that were being sung, I was like, okay, something is off. When I saw the 3-6 Mafia, again, that was another one. The Chris Brown song with Fallen Angel, that was it. Like, the man is literally singing about sympathy for the devil. And so at that point, there was no argument. Like, you couldn't make an argument for me that would justify the whole thing. For me, it's steeped in devil practice. It's people singing about devil, doing devilish things, the satanic thingy, all of that. There's a lot of things that for me, and people outright even acting a certain way, which they were not, just to influence people badly. Yeah, that for me, that ended it.